Hi there, I'm Rick Smith. My father is Patrick Smith, author of the popular novel A Land Remembered. If you haven't already read it, you've probably heard of it. It's been said many times that it should be required reading for everyone who crosses the Florida state line, and of course I believe that's true. In fact, even though it's fiction, it's used in hundreds of schools to teach Florida history and to get kids interested in reading. Now, although my father's the author, this book has increasingly become a big part of my life. I not only maintain several websites to sell his books and for educators, but I maintain contact with thousands of fans of A Land Remembered. Taking it a step further, I recently created a multimedia show about Dad's life as a writer and some of the extraordinary experiences that led him to write A Land Remembered, as well as his other novels. Now, I first toured with this show in early 2013, and although I didn't know what to expect, I received wonderful reviews and sold-out performances all over Florida. Now, although Dad can't be there personally, he does make several appearances via video in which he'll personally tell you some fascinating stories from his life, things that he experienced that were necessary for him to write these books. So, in a very real way, we do this show together.
Then comes along the idea for that novel, A Land Remembered, which covers 110 years of Florida pioneer life, 1858 to 1968. Well, you can't do what I did for those other novels. You can't go out and live among people who were on this earth 150 or more years ago in order to get to know them well enough to write about them, unless you've got a time machine, which I so happen not to have. So I had to go about that research in a different way. The research alone for that novel took a period of more than 2 years. I read about 60 books about Florida, took pounds and pounds of notes. And from all those things I read, I found a lot of things about Florida that were of real interest to me. Things I knew I wanted to put into that novel, like the Battle of Olustee in the Civil War, the birth of the cattle industry, the birth of the citrus industry, the coming of the railroads, that great freeze in 1895 that almost destroyed this entire state, that land boom in Miami in the 1920s, that 1926 hurricane that almost blew Miami right off the map, that 1928 hurricane that swept over Lake Okeechobee and drowned more than 2,000 people in less than 2 hours. But I wasn't really interested in historical facts, you know, dates, times, places, that sort of thing. You can find that in a history book. What I really wanted to know was, how did these things affect people? How did they survive? Why did those pioneers come to Florida in the first place when it was such a wilderness? What were they looking for? What were their hopes? What were their dreams? How did they really live back in those pioneer days? And that's the sort of thing you cannot find in a history book. So most of that novel is told through memories. Some my own, but mostly the memories of other people.
I even get into my role as your guide so much that I dress like they did in the time of the McIvies, the pioneering family barely eking out a living on the Kissimmee Prairie. We'll also explore things like Mississippi river rats from Dad's book, The River is Home, Seminole Indians from Forever Island and Allapattah, and migrant workers from his book, Angel City. You'll see that there's a lot more to Dad's literary life than you thought. This show is a visual treat. It combines videos, photos, music, special effects, and more as I narrate it live. Trust me, you've probably never experienced storytelling like this. It really is a unique adventure as we take this trip together, and it's suitable for the whole family. I hope to see you there.